Balancing the books. Hello and welcome back to Drinking by My Shelf. My name is Emma and today I'm going to be balancing out my books from the month of March. Basically that just means adding up all of the books that came onto my TBR in March and all of the books that I read or gave away or got off my TBR in March and make sure that they're equal. And then just to make it a little bit harder, make sure that I actually end up -5 because I'm trying to reduce that TBR. Book hoarder struggles, we all know them. I'm going to start with the books that I bought in March because there weren't very many of them because I was very good this month. The books that I bought were History of Wolves by Emily Fridland, which I've already read because I read it for my book club, so that is a 0 on my score. Well done, Emma, well done, well done. Then I bought Let Me Lie by Claire Mackintosh, because of course I did, because she's my favourite thriller author ever, and I've already read it. Of course, read it the second it arrived. So far, I am the best. And finally, I bought Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race, which I had already read, or listened to, rather. I listened to it as an audiobook, and then I wanted to own it because it came out in paperback. None of my book buying habits this month were bad. Cheers to me. But now for the next pile, I've got to tell you about all of these books that I got from publishers this month. And I got a nice little stack this month. I got this memoir, A Widower's Notebook by Jonathan Santlofer, which sounds really sad. Look at all these lovely, happy family memories on the back. I feel like this one's going to make me cry a lot. I requested this one from Penguin, so thank you, Penguin. That's one point, one black mark against my name. Then a book I was sent unsolicited, and they sent it to me twice, one proof and one hardcover. This looks beautiful. Go ask Fanny. Lol. I don't think that this looks like my kind of book. Like, I probably won't read it looking at the plot, but I think it's really beautiful. I really like that style of cover, so it's a shame because I kind of want to keep it just to display it. That's going to count as a 1, not 2, obviously, because I'm not going to read it twice. That's another mark against me. For now, we'll see if I keep those. Another book that I got unsolicited was Tin Man by Sarah Winman. And usually I don't like it when I get books unsolicited. I know that sounds like really spoiled to complain about, and if this was me a year ago, I would be like, Emma, it's free books, that's amazing. But actually I find it a lot of pressure when books get sent to me that I didn't ask for because I feel obliged to review them, and I just don't. As a rule, I don't read books if I didn't request them. But the reason I'm telling you that is because exceptions prove the rule and stuff. This book, I think I probably will read. It looks lovely. I really liked When God Was a Rabbit, which was Sarah Winman's last book, or the last book I read. I don't know if she wrote something in between. And it just sounds really lovely, and I've heard fantastic things. And another book that I did not ask for, Other People's Houses by Abby Waxman. She wrote The Garden of New Beginnings, which I read last year and I thought was really sweet, but didn't blow my mind, so probably won't read this. Okay, this book I did ask for. This is The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay, and this is about a young gay man in the 80s in Chicago and the AIDS crisis, and I thought it sounded really good and probably going to make me sob. I did not request Ghosted by Rosie Walsh, but the synopsis kind of sounds great. It's like a love story, but also like a mystery kind of from the way it's described, but it's about ghosting. The house swap I did ask for. This is a thriller by Rebecca Fleet. Eagle-eyed viewers of you will notice I already hauled this last month because I got it from NetGalley, so this does not count as an extra point because I already have it, but I just want to show you the cool cover. It's a thriller about two people swapping houses, so it's like The Holiday, but instead of falling in love and being romantic, it's going to be scary and things will happen. I don't know what. Something terrifying. I'm excited about this. And finally, I got a couple of presents. I am going to be starting at the end of this month a new job at Pan Macmillan, which I'm very excited about and I will tell you more about to come. But they sent me some nice presents to welcome me aboard. So when they sent me my contract, they sent me this, Pages for Her by Sylvia Brownrigg. And I am actually going to save this because I haven't yet read Pages for You, and I really want to. I've been wanting to for a while, so I'm really pleased to have this one ready for me. It's the sequel to a love story between two women, and it sounds really lovely. And then they also sent me, because I asked them to, The Favourite Sister by Jessica Knoll, and I've already read this one. I tore through it straight away. Jessica Knoll wrote Luckiest Girl Alive, which was a thriller that I can't even tell you what it was about without spoilers. It was about so many things. It was so twisty and turny. This one is about women on a reality show. This reality show called Gold Diggers that's about business women. It's supposed to be this feminist reality show. It's really controversial. I really want some other people to read it to talk to me about it. I thought it was great. I love Jessica Knoll. I think she's so interesting. And I know from reading interviews with her that I like her views on feminism. And this one was really interesting because it's told from certain different perspectives of characters that we're not necessarily supposed to like or agree with. So they had rather controversial approaches to these topics, and The whole book, just fascinating. I feel like there's so much to unpack here and I really want to hear other people's thoughts on it. Because a lot of the time when I was reading it, I kept being like, she went there. Holy balls, she is tackling that topic. Oh, bless you. So yeah, that's that. No, I forgot one more. Hang on. Okay, the last one, I nearly forgot it again. This is actually one that I got last month and I forgot to include it in my video, so I'm adding it on here. I got as a present from my dad, Women and Power by Mary Beard, which is 2 of Mary Beard's speeches written out, basically. Speeches about women in power, surprisingly enough. And I've already read these. I read it in one lazy Sunday morning and it was really, really good. I think Mary Beard is fascinating and she speaks really well, so that does not add to the score against me. Fantastic! So now let's see what else came off my TBR this month. Books that I read this month, other than the ones I've already mentioned, The Favourite Sister, Women in Power, Let Me Lie, History of Wolves, all of those ones I already mentioned. I read The Argonauts by Maggie Nelson, which I buddy read with my friends Anna and Angelica. Angelica is of the YouTube channel Angelica Kofa, and I will link to her channel below. This is a memoir all about gender and feminism and the pregnant body and motherhood and all sorts of really, really interesting topics, and I really enjoyed it. Even though I was a bit worried at first it was going to be quite hard to read and quite kind of dense and theoretical, I actually ended up reading it so fast and loving every word. And I also read J.K. Rowling's Quidditch Through the Ages, because why not? I've had it for ages and I've never actually read it. So I read that one weekend and it was, it was fine. And then the book that I don't have but I read on my Kindle was The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. And that one I still haven't decided if I loved or hated it. It was a really weird book, but it was a really interesting book that I kind of want to read again, even though I didn't enjoy it. I kind of want them to make a TV show and I'll watch that TV show because it was a really interesting plot. Has anyone read it? Please tell me below because I need people to talk to this book about because it was very strange. But then I also DNF'd some books this month, so that got them out of the picture. I DNF'd 4 arcs basically that I had. The Half-Sister, A Sister in My House, The Cliff House, and Things Bright and Beautiful. I apparently did not really enjoy any of the arcs that were new this month. Each one of those 4, I didn't DNF it because I felt it was a bad book. I feel like they will all have their readers and they were all really interesting, particularly Things Bright and Beautiful. The first chapter of that really engaged me and then I just lost interest after that. They all had rather unusual writing styles that I just didn't really get along with, so I think that was the problem there, and I'm just really in a DNF mood at the moment. If I'm not liking a book, I don't want to push myself through it. All 4 of those have pretty good ratings on Goodreads, and I imagine we'll have some very devoted readers, which is wonderful. I'm just not one of them. So that rather wonderfully brings me to 0. I have officially balanced my books for the month of March. But of course it's not quite as simple as that, because classic me, I've decided to make it way harder for myself and end up every month with -5, which is difficult but so worth it because I am loving how small my TBR pile is getting. I was down to 67 at the beginning of this month, and if I now get rid of 5 books, I'll be down to 62. The tricky bit is that I now have to get rid of 5 books. But you know what? That's fine, because I already know that I didn't really want to read Other People's Houses. That one can go to charity. Go Ask Fanny. These 2 can both go to charity. Someone will be very lucky to have them on their bookshelves because I do think they're very pretty. And to be honest, Ghosted, I'm not like chomping at the bit to pick this one up. So someone will definitely really enjoy getting that at Oxfam. Okay, so now it's just getting 2 from the collection that I've been hoarding. Which 2 of the books I've been holding on to do I have to admit I'm probably never going to read? Let's have a look. You'll see me over there in a second. Okay, so a book that I've been holding on to for several years is Olivia Jewell's And the Overactive Imagination. So this is by Helen Fielding, who wrote Bridget Jones, and I really enjoyed the book Bridget Jones. So then when I saw this at my in-laws' house, I was intrigued by it and my mother-in-law said that I could take it. She didn't particularly rave about it, I don't think that she loved it, but I was kind of interested because I just read Bridget Jones at that point. But that was like 3 or even 4 years ago and I still haven't read it. And it doesn't have the best reviews on Goodreads. People say it's not the same kind of book as Bridget Jones, so don't compare them. So, if I'm honest, I'm probably never going to get around to this one. Go enjoy your new home book. And then finally, I feel weird about this one. This is the last one that I've chosen to give away. And it feels like a bit of a shame because I did actually ask for this one for Christmas a few years ago. So this was a present that I had asked for. Sometimes reading tastes do just change and go up and down, and sometimes you find that you're no longer excited about a book. So I had previously asked for The Gathering by Anne Enright. This was a Man Booker Prize winner, so I was really interested in it. But I have heard mixed things, to be honest, and the longer time goes on, the less compelled I am to pick this one up. And it seems a shame for me to be just kind of hanging on to it and ignoring it when it's actually this prize-winning book that someone else might love. Not that I have the only copy of it in the world, that sounded weird. You know what I mean. So this one I'm gonna give away. Which means I now only own 62 books that I have not read, which is a wonderfully manageable number. I do want to start trying to be better at not having to just give away 5 books every month. I want to try and read my way through them and just not collect so many books. But so far, this hasn't proved too challenging. I haven't yet come across a month where I'm like, I really don't want to part with any of my books. Because if that did happen, I obviously wouldn't give them away. I don't want to do this just for the sake of it if I actually have a collection of books I genuinely want to read. But I guess the point of this is looking at it and being honest with yourself and finding that you're actually holding on to books that you no longer want to read. When I get my collection down just to the books that I'm actually excited for, that'll be such a great day, because then every day I can just go and look at my bookshelf and choose something that I'm wonderfully excited about. What a dream. So for now, I'm off to take this lot to the charity shop, and while I'm doing that, you guys can give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for new videos every Friday. See you next time!